Hi, I'm Dylan Green. This is Crash Course Literature, and just like this year's YouTube Rewind, today we're going to look back at everything we've done this year. Joining me today is the author of the Ascent to Money, Neil Ferguson.
Hi, I'm Neil Ferguson, and today you're watching the Ascent of English Literature. You're about to watch an incredible journey, and yes, it involves money. It also involves Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, Arthur Miller's play The Crucible, Mr. William Shakespeare's King Lear, and some tips on asking for recommendations. We kicked off season 4 of English with Pride and Prejudice. So what happens in Pride and Prejudice? At its heart, Pride and Prejudice is a story about money, or at least it starts out that way. The 5 Bennet sisters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kizzy, and Lydia, live together in Longbourn with Mr. and Mrs. Bennet. Their father's estate will go to their cousin, Mr. Collins, when he dies. So the 5 sisters' livelihood depends on their ability to marry into wealth. As always, it is money that rules the world. When a certain Charles Bingley moves into Hertfordshire, 5 Bennet sisters swoon over him because he has tons of money. They try to get his attention at balls and dinners. Jane gets sick when travelling to Bingley's place, so she stays at Bingley's place because naturally, they all want her germs. Jane and Bingley are in love. But unfortunately, the bad lad ends up moving to London. Meanwhile, Darcy, Bingley's friend, who has even more money, starts to fall in love with Elizabeth. However, Elizabeth hates him because she thinks he's arrogant and unpleasant. Unlike her mother, Elizabeth has not yet been enlightened to the fact that money rules the world.
Thank you, Niall. A British soldier named Wickham comes into town, and Lydia falls in love with him. Everything is all fine and dandy until they run away together and elope. Everyone starts freaking out because of the disgrace this would bring to the entire family, especially because they aren't married. However, Fitzwilliam Darcy saves the day by finding Lydia and paying for Wickham's debts, and Elizabeth falls in love with him, and then they get married. Bingley also returns and proposes to Jane, to which she accepts. They get married, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end. After we read Pride and Prejudice, we moved on to the iconic play, The Crucible. At the beginning of the play, a group of girls are dancing around the forest and performing a ritual until they get caught by Reverend Paris, the town's minister. When they get caught, Betty, Paris's daughter, faints and doesn't wake up for a while. After a crowd of people gather in Paris's home, rumors of witchcraft spread. A witchcraft expert, Reverend Hale, is summoned to investigate. Then, Tituba, the servant girl of the house and leader of the dance/ritual, confesses to witchcraft, and Abigail and all of the other girls who were dancing start confessing who else they saw with the devil.
Soon, the village is in a witchcraft frenzy, with more and more people being accused. Those accused have to confess, or else they're sentenced to death by hanging. One of the accused was the wife of a guy named John Proctor. John Proctor gets very angry, because he thinks Abigail is trying to get rid of his wife, so she can be with him. And he tries to expose Abigail as a fraud by bringing Mary to the courtroom. However, their efforts fail when Abigail and the girls act as though Warren is bewitching them, and the judge, Danforth, sentences Proctor to jail. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just smoking these meats. Now, when John Proctor was in the courtroom, he got absolutely hammered by Judge Danforth's questioning. Reverend Hale tries to get Proctor to confess, but he refuses and gets hanged, along with everyone else accused who did not confess. I guess you could say he got grilled.
The final piece that we covered was Shakespeare's King Lear. King Lear, the king of Britain, is retiring, so he must divide his kingdom among his 3 daughters, Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia. So he splits the kingdom up, based on how much the daughters say they love him. Goneril and Regan flatter him to no end, and end up inheriting half the kingdom, while Cordelia ended up being honest and said she only loved him as much as a daughter should, and gets kicked out and disowned. Oh no. She then marries the King of France and leaves because she's been disowned. As soon as Cordelia leaves, Regan and Goneril start undermining his power and limiting the number of knights in Lear's possession. And Lear gets really angry at his daughters and leaves in a rage with the Fool and Kent in disguise.
I'm going. I'm actually leaving. I'm serious. I'm actually leaving. That's like actually so embarrassing.
That is so embarrassing.
Shut up, fool.
I may be a fool, but you're a clown that gave all his power away.
Bro.
Meanwhile, Edmund, Gloucester's son, is tired of being inferior. His father always has to let people know that he's the illegitimate bastard.
Oh, not that one. My legitimate one. Right here, right here.
So starts scheming a plan to take down his brother Edgar without him knowing. Edmund soon becomes the favorite son, becomes Earl of Gloucester, and helps win the war against France. Lear, on the other hand, has gone completely batshit insane. Now running around with a bunch of weeds on his head in the shape of a crown. Wake up! While Lear is taking L's, Edmund's power is rising, and both Goneril and Regan fall in love with him. But after he wins the war, Albany confronts him about a letter from Goneril, in which she plans Albany's murder. Albany is really mad and challenges him to a trial by duel. He loses the duel and realizes that Edgar, his brother, was fighting him all along, and it was he who helped Albany find out who he really was. Goneril had poisoned her sister earlier, and now the effects were kicking in, and Regan dies. Goneril just couldn't take it anymore. She's overwhelmed by the guilt, and she decides to kill herself. Albany tries to find out where Cordelia is, but Edmund reveals that he ordered her to death, and that it was too late. Lear dies out of grief, and Albany, Edgar, and Kent-ish are the only ones left alive. What a lovely play.
And now we finish with some tips on how to ask for a recommendation letter, which will help you get into college, get a good job, and ultimately make money. Number 1, be clear about what you want the teacher to do. Number 2, don't disturb the teacher when they're busy. Number 3, ask at least 2 weeks in advance. Number 4, have everything, deadlines, paperwork, other things ready. And now some examples of how not to ask for a recommendation letter. Mr. Schwartz.
I'm busy.
Mr. Schwartz.
I'm busy. Get out.
Mr. Schwartz?
Get out.
Mr. Schwartz.
Huh? Yeah?
Could I please have a recommendation letter?
Yeah, what colleges are you applying to?
I don't know.
Do you know, what your deadlines look like?
I don't know.
Get out.
Mr. Schwartz!
What?
I need could I please have a recommendation letter? I'm
Shut
applying to the
up.
Art Institute
no,
of Technology.
no,
The
no.
deadline's of November 1st.